Hello, everybody. Dr. Dan Robinson here, and it's so great to be at Success Fest with Tracey D. Armstrong. Tracey, come on and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what do you do?
Hello, everyone. I am Tracey D. Armstrong, born and raised in Houston, Texas, coming to you from Channelview, Texas, and I am an educator, coach, and motivator.
Nice. Houston's one of my favorite cities. I was just there a couple weeks ago, matter of fact, actually beginning of this month. So great to have you here. First question I have for you. What has been the biggest obstacle you had to overcome?
Well, my biggest obstacle in my life has been overcoming my perspective of myself. I would always judge myself, think that I wasn't good enough. I was raised by a single mom, and so she really, really pushed me to be the best. But with that being said, she never really told me, good job or I'm proud of you. So as I went throughout life, I never really thought that I was good enough at anything that I was doing. So I would doubt myself. I would doubt my dreams. I wouldn't press through until I finally realized that it was me versus me. So that was my biggest obstacle.
Oh, man, that is very, very deep. And I'm guessing because you went through that yourself and had to overcome it, this is why you chose to be successful. So can you speak on why did you choose to be successful or help other people be successful?
That is exactly why I choose to help other people become successful, because my purpose in life is to have a positive impact on other people's lives and to help them see past what they see. And with some people, they only see doom and gloom every day, all the time. And so I want them to see further, see that there's more to life than what they see. Because as an educator, I see that a lot with my students. And so when they succeed, I succeed. And it brings me joy to see them overcome those obstacles that hold them back also, like I did.
Nice, nice. And then once you do all of that, what's your biggest hope for them once they see what they see for themselves?
So my biggest hope in everything that I do, every time that I speak, every message that I put out there, I want my words to inspire hope in people, ignite a fire under them. I want to influence people to change the way that they think. And so I hope to transform minds so that those minds will transform their lives. That is my biggest hope, because when you transform your life, it makes life much more successful.
And you're right about that. You are right about that. But before you do anything in life, your mindset has to be set first. So, guys, she has so many gems she got to drop, right? This is just a little teaser for you. So stay tuned, because coming to the stage is Tracey D. Armstrong with You versus You. Stop stopping you from your own success.
You versus you. And your success is dependent on your perspective of yourself. So, stay broke if you want to. That's up to you. Or live a successful life full of prosperity, thriving and flourishing in everything you desire. Because that's up to you too. Your perspective is so powerful that it will propel your life to another level, or it will imprison your life to never excel. Now, if you are someone that allows your past to dictate your future and you are ready to stop stopping your own success, then this message is for you. And it starts with how you view yourself. Now, if you desire to live life and not just exist, you must learn how to check, change, and control your perspective of yourself. Today, we're going to walk through some of the ways that I have learned to control my perspective. I use what's called the 5 W's and the 1 H. Now, understand, I was a writing teacher for a few years, so we use this in class to get a better understanding of what we were doing. And if you use this in your life, it will help you get a better understanding too. Now, the first W is the who. Who controls your perspective? You do. Who controls your success? You do too. And I had to realize this for my life. I had to realize that everything that I wanted started with me going after it and not letting the way I viewed myself stop me. When one of my students said, "Hey, Miss, you should start a podcast," I said, "A podcast?" I had no idea what a podcast was, how a podcast was supposed to be started. I doubted myself. I felt like, who's going to listen to me? What am I really going to say? What are you going to do? I was unknowledgeable of anything that I needed to do. But guess what? Sometimes you have to shut up all of those thoughts in your brain that make you believe that you are less than. And that's what I did. I shut up those thoughts and I started learning about podcasting. I started getting into classes to know exactly what I was doing. And guess what? I started my What's Your Mess podcast earlier this year. But you got to remember, you must know that you have the power to control your perspective of your life. The next W is the what. Get an understanding of what is your perspective of yourself. If you really think about it, do you constantly criticize yourself? Do you frequently compare yourself to others and think less of yourself because you're not on the same level as someone else? Now, I completely understand because I did the same thing for far too long. When I started my all-star cheer and tumbling business, I would constantly put my little gym and my raggedy business down. I would look at the buildings down the street and the other companies and say, man, I wish I had what they had. And it wasn't until one day one of my parents came and said, hey, you are doing an amazing job and you bring a lot of value to my child. This is when I started to realize it wasn't about the size of the building, but the value that I added to my athletes' lives. Sometimes outside people must show you your value before you can see it for yourself. Now, I can tell you how worthy and deserving you are of being successful, but until you perceive it for yourself, your life will never change. So stop stopping your success. And then I reflect on the next W, which is the when. When does my perspective hinder my success? Understanding when your success is hindered by your perspective will tell you when to change your perspective. Now, when you don't do what you know you're supposed to do in order to live a successful life because you underestimate your abilities, then your perspective is hindering your success. When you look at others and you compare yourself to them and you think that you can never be as great or as grand, then your success is being hindered by your perspective. Think about it. What thoughts are stopping you from pursuing your dreams, your visions, and your goals? Because I thought about it and I thought about what was stopping me, and I asked myself the next question: where? Where did this perspective come from? And realizing where it comes from will help you know how to change it. Your perspective of yourself came from somewhere. The way you viewed life from previous experiences and the way it's developed over years. Have you been defeated, overlooked, or misjudged for so many years that you view life from that one perspective of failure? Some of your perspectives and the way you view yourself come from something that someone said to you years ago, and it still sticks in your mind. Now, your perspective of yourself won't get unstuck until you remove those thoughts from your mind. And then the last W is the why. Why is the perspective so important? Your perspective of yourself is so important because it will dictate what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Because if you don't even believe you can do it, you're not even going to try. Therefore, it determines your fate, your finances, and your future success. Now, the H. How do you control your perspective? It all starts right here in your brain with controlling your thoughts. Your thoughts about your past can control your future because it's like you're playing tug of war with your past. You're trying to move forward towards a brighter future, and your past keeps pulling you back into the darkness that you've already escaped. The thoughts that keep telling you you're not good enough. Remember where you came from? Those are the thoughts that you need to recognize and you need to control them. And when they start to rise up, cut the rope. Cut the rope of those thoughts that keep you from moving towards your success. Next, you must control your tongue. Watch what you say about yourself because the words that you say are so powerful. And some of your perspectives are built on what you said or what someone has said to you. You must speak what you desire and expect to achieve it. If you don't want lack, stop speaking lack over your life. And if you want to be successful, start speaking words that line up with what you want. And then next, controlling your team. TEAM. The team you have in your life are the people that you surround yourself with. And it's so important to control who you have and who you allow in your circle because they will either have a positive impact or a negative impact on your life. You may have to cut some of those people off from your team, especially those that want to keep reminding you of who you used to be. You need to surround yourself with a team of people who will have your best interest in mind and a team who will be supportive of you as you move towards your success. Now, I know I've laid out a lot, but I leave you with these actionable steps. Always remember to self-reflect on your perspective for any situation that you face. Recognize who is in control. That's you. Understand what perspective you have. Know when you need to change it. Realize where does that perspective come from and why it's important to change it. Remember how to change it. Control your thoughts, control your tongue, and control your team. If you do these things, you can stop fighting yourself and get out of your own way for a successful life. Remember, it's you versus you. So stop stopping your success. And if anything that I've said today has been beneficial to your life and you want to get some more motivational moments, remember, I'm Tracey D. Armstrong. You can find me on YouTube and on all social media platforms. Thank you.